Hello everyone, welcome to this new video where we shall be showing you the basics of AutoCAD. If you are new on my channel, I am Siri Fonke, a land survey engineer who will be taking you today on the basics of AutoCAD. If you are a beginner if you are a beginner in AutoCAD, you are at the right place. In this video, we are going to be showing you the different commands in AutoCAD. We are going to present the software to show you the different commands and dimension and everything that goes with AutoCAD. So if you use AutoCAD in any domain, this video is important for you. It shows the basics for destined for any other field. So if you are with me, follow me, let's go. Once the AutoCAD is installed in your machine, this is the interface that appears. To open a new drawing, you click Start. I click here on Start. You can choose a scale. This one proposes a scale because I am using Covadis. I'm using Covadis, which is destined for surveyors. I will not use this because for normal AutoCAD, it will not propose that. Okay. So once we are in this drawing, we have the quick access menu. This quick access menu, which represents everything that is here. If you want anything here, you can get it at the quick access menu. You have a tab and a ribbon. The tabs and ribbon bar. If you want any tab, you can change like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. And if you want any commands, you can now come here, like you come at home, for example, you take a line, you take a polyline, which is a combination of lines, a circle, arc, rectangle, ellipse, and the rest. We are going to see all this. We are going to see all this during the course of our video. So this one is the command bar, or the command menu, or anything you like to call it. So in order not to have lengthy and not important things in our video, we will go directly to our different commands. And the very first command we use in AutoCAD is the line command. If I want to draw a line in AutoCAD, or if I want to activate any command, I start on the command, I right click, I double click, I mean to say, double click on the command, it has selected the command. If I want to select a polyline, I right click, I've selected a polyline. So I'll start with a line. To draw my line, I have to click the first point, click the second point, press enter. My line, this is my line. If I want to draw a polyline like I said, because in this case, if I take another line, if I take this line, for example, I draw this line, see each element is different. You cannot select all at once because there are different line elements. Now the difference with the polyline is I have this, if I select all my elements. So a combination of lines. Why this one is a simple line, this one is a polyline, combination of lines. So right now we have talked about line and polyline. Now if I want to draw a line where I know the distance, for example, I know the distance and I know I have an angle I want it to go. I'll double click on the line. I click the first point. If I want to draw a line 20 meters, let's say 20 meters, 20 units. If I want to draw a line 20 units at an angle of 60 degrees, I click because of my distance, I press tap on my keyboard, goes to my angle. Goes to my angle. Then I enter 60 degrees and I press enter. So here, this is my line, 20 units and 60 degrees. If you notice, I've just zoomed in and zoomed out during my drawing. So in order for you to zoom in, it's always advisable to use a three-side mouse, left, center, and right. So I press at the center. Once I press at the center, I see this hand. This one, you I can use to displace my drawing. Left, right, I displace elements of my drawing. If I want to zoom in the center mouse, take it, I scroll it up, zoom it in. If I want to zoom out, I scroll it down. So with this, I can manage displacements on my drawing. If I want to select an element, I just need to touch the element and I right click on the element I've selected. If I want to unselect, I press escape on my keyboard and I've unselected that particular element. So right now, we've drawn this line. If you notice, we started here and we discovered the scale is too big. Now, how do I change the unit of my drawing? I can already change the unit of my drawing by typing UN. Once I type UN on this command bar, I will see a unit. I can enter, then I will see the different. I will see the unit. My drawing is in millimeters. So if I want to change, I can either put meters, I can put inches, I can put what I like depending on units of my work. So I will allow this unchanged. Okay, so we've seen the unit, we've seen how to draw a line. You can also draw a line, you can also draw this line by imposing it to only be perpendicular. Perpendicular, I'll come here to this auto mode, then I take my line, to impose my line to only perpendiculars. See, multiples of 90, not anything which is not a multiple of 90 cannot go. If you want to draw any line which is not a multiple of 90, you see, cannot go. Not a multiple of 90, you see, you cannot go, cannot go. Once it's a multiple of 90 before you can draw. And so on. It is because of this perpendicular. Once, if I don't want this, I deactivate this. I can now draw any angle of my choice. Draw my lines, any angles of my choice. So it may happen that you'll be drawing at some points. You cannot draw angle at varying. Cannot draw a line at varying angles. So equal 90, you can count. I deactivate at this point. So this is where you will have to come and activate. So I will select just like we saw, select this and then I delete. Okay, let's move now to other figures. If I start on circle, I see I have many options to draw my circle. I click, I have many options to draw my circle. I have the center, radius, right? I show the center, I enter the radius, the center diameter, I show the center, I enter diameter and so on and so forth. You cannot see all this because if you see all this in two lengths, you will see the first one. Click my center, I can now put my radius. Just like once, in order for you to note at what scale your drawing might be, you see the value, it is given on your pixel. I'll put, for example, 15, and I have a circle of 15. So this is for a circle. If I want to draw a rectangle, same thing. Put then my start point. I click my finish drawing. I can equally draw this rectangle by so I can equally draw this rectangle by entering the coordinate of the start and end point. So if I have the coordinate of the top right and the bottom left, the top left and the bottom right, sorry, I will enter the x coordinate, I press tab, I enter the y coordinate, I press tab. It will give me the first point, and then I will press enter, it will bring me to the second point, which I will do same, and it will automatically draw this rectangle for me. If I want to shade this particular polygon, for example, I'll come here, I'll click on this, then I take solid. It depends on you. You can change. You can take it at an angle. By modifying the angle here, you can take anyone. You take an angle. If you want it to be a full solid, you click here and you click inside. You have a shaded polygon. But the polygon has to be closed. It has to be closed. If I apply here, you see it's a problem because it is not closed. So it has to be a closed polygon for you to apply that shade. Um, Okay, so let's proceed. So if I want to draw an ellipse, come here, I'll place ellipse, I'll click and take my option. In this case, we are going to take the center and the axis. I click here, I will have to enter, click on the center. It's going to ask me to enter to specify an axis. I can either click or first I can enter 20, tap enter, another axis 10. So these are the minor and major axis of the ellipse. So you can draw your ellipse this way, center, minor and major axis. So these are the different methods you can use to draw your figures. Now we are going to see these particular ones which are used for modifying. Now you finish drawing, now you have to modify, you have to duplicate, so on, you have to rotate, you have to do the image and so on, just like we are going to see in the video. So now in order to do this, first I will start by rotating the element. If I have this, if I want to rotate this, I have to either take the command rotate, you ask me to select the object. Once I've selected, press enter. It asks me to specify my base point. I specify my base points, and then the object is already in rotation mode. I will now tell the object by how much I want to rotate. For example, my units are in radians. You can put your own just the way we saw. You can decide to put your own in degrees or any other units you wish. So I'll rotate it by 100. And then my polygon has been rotated by 100. If I want to move, I can either select and I take move, which is to displace. I move it from one point to the other. I move this object from one point to the other, and so on and so forth. Now we are going to do is a little exercise to be able to explore other commands. From here, I can use this scale, this small scale here, to be able to enlarge and reduce my different figures. So if I want to scale, if I want to reduce this to half, I select scale, I select my object, then I hit enter. It is asking me to enter my reduction scale. Since in this case I want to reduce, I will divide into two, which will be 0.5 in this case. 0.5. Specify the base point. In my case, it was 2 instead of 0.5. I was so fast that I pressed 2. So I'm going to do it again. Reduction factor, press 0.5. You can see we have it just like this. The other time, 0.5. 0.5. You have it smaller. So this is scale. You can be drawing any drawing you want. You can be drawing, and you happen to want to reduce or enlarge an element. Want to reduce or enlarge an element. So just like we saw for 0.5, if you want to enlarge, you are multiplying by 2. If you want to double, by 3, you want to, and so on and so forth. So you can also manually judge what you are looking for. You can also manually judge, and when you have what you are looking for, you just press enter. Manually judge, and while judging, you are seeing the scale that is there. If you see, for example, we have 80, you see the size of 80. From the size of 80, you can tell what will be the size of 4. Then you enter, you have 4. That is that for scale. We are also going to show you how to. Now, if you have these two lines, for example, if you have these two lines, this line, and this line, which we want to join, we want them two of them to join at this point. What we will use is fillet. I select the command, I select my first line, I select my second line, it is already showing. I click, see, that's close that gap. Now I have this element, I have this element. If I want it to be one single element, which I can select at once, come down here, modify, I take join, join. At this point, if I select again, I select it at once. If I want to go the other way, the reverse, I will come and I reverse my command. Now I can select if my command is actually reversed. That means my reverse command has not. Another way to reverse that command is by typing decompose to come, enter. Oh, sorry. In this case, we are going to break. So there are many methods in order for me to achieve my aim in the video. We are going to use a break at a point. So we can break this, select, and when we come to this point, we break, enter. You cannot see we have back two different elements as from the start. Okay, now let's go to explode. Just now I wanted to decompose this polyline. I wanted to decompose this after showing you this. In order to decompose this, I wanted to show you this in a different method that we have just seen, the break method. Now we are going to see the explode method. This is one single line. We are going to decompose into different line segments, two different line segments. So we are going to select the command explode and then we right click and press enter. Now we see we have this line segment and we have this line segment. So in your drawing, it can happen you have a particular polygon which is combination of multiple lines and you decide to break in order to remove a single element. For example, you can break this, you can explode this, okay? You can explode. Now you have all the different elements which you can decide to delete a particular element. So imagine you had a drawing I want to create an opening. Rather than starting back, you can just explode. You create it, you delete one, and then if you like to continue with the other one as polygon, come back and this is your result. Now, if I have this line, if I have this line, then I want to reproduce this particular line at a distance away from, at a distance of say 10 meters. This very line, 10 meters away. I want to replicate it. I will use what we call offset. I'll offset this line through a distance of 10. Press enter, then I select my object and I show which direction I am offsetting. Right? Take up or down. So I have offset. This is my offset. I've created this same line. Let's offset again, and I'm going to take it through 50 so that it will be visible. Select my object and I offset. So this offset will be very important when we start applying our AutoCAD in our different fields. Rather than drawing the same line many times, for example, you want to draw a wall, you want to draw a 20 centimeter wall, you will not draw this line, you come and draw this one, you draw line and yes, and you offset 20 centimeters in order to have their structure. So these elements are very important. Now we are going to do a small exercise where we are going to try to use these commands together. So I am going to activate my auto mode, take, close, and polygon. Here I'm going to offset this external line by 3. I'll offset all my lines by 3. This 3 may represent anything for you depending on what you are doing. So let me offset this by 3. Select. For it to be visible, I'm going to, okay, this is it. It is not visible, so I will add that offset factor. And add that offset factor to 15. So this is it. My units are in meters, just like we saw in the beginning of the drawing. So you see that if what has just happened, I press enter without right clicking to confirm the command. It does not stay. So I will press enter. Once I'm done, I right click to confirm the command before I can either escape, take a different command, or enter. Either escape to take a different command, or I enter. Okay, what I want to do is not I will do same, take the same command, press enter, bring it here, bring it here. This one has been already. Press escape. Now, this point, I'll bring it to touch here, bring it to touch here. While drawing, you can make this, you can make sure you adjust these lines so that since the orthogonal lines, their offset will not have a problem. Our objective now, I want to create openings. I consider this drawing, I want to create different openings at this level. Let's say I create an opening at this point. For those doing civil engineering, I want to create an opening at different points. We are going to use the command which we will call trim. This command. So in order for us to use this command, we have to See, as you can see, the drawing we use it to create openings. If you want to trim at the point, make sure that all the points are embedded, all the different lines around are embedded, and you select all of them. So for me to trim, it asks me to select all the objects on my object. Now, once I've selected all my objects, press enter first. I press enter. Now, before I can take the parts I want to create an opening. That opening has been created. This one, because all the lines, if this happens, it shows they don't meet perfectly, or there is a line which has not been selected, meaning there is a line which, so we will continue this one, and this one. Coming back here, this one also, because this one is not touching, it's not embedded, so that's the reason it is taking this line, which is not the option you are looking for. You have this. Now we have this one as adjusted. Now you can see us having this opening without if you want an opening here. So this one is for you to this one is the trim command. Now if you want to delete a particular element which is already selected, you can just erase. You can also use erase. Either you use erase or you press delete on your keyboard. Use erase, press delete. Once that is done, you want to come back on a command. For this, if you want to come back on a command which you have already pressed, you can use this undo. You undo what you've just done. If you want to redo, you redo what you've done, and then you can undo it back here. So this was supposed to be shown since the beginning of the video, because you have to be able to come back to something you've done by mistake. So you have the undo and redo on this rapid access menu. Okay, now we have shown you can draw a line, you can draw a circle, and ellipse, you can draw all the different polygons that you have here, you can modify them, you can rotate, you can move, you can trim, you can erase, you can explode, you can offset, and every other thing. Now, in AutoCAD usually is not good, it's not advisable to draw to have your drawing in disorder or haphazard manner. Everything is not supposed to be mixed. We use what we call layers to be able to differentiate all elements on our drawing. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to see how to create layers and attribute them to our different drawing elements. So we are going to take this our circle again. We have our circle. We are going to activate photo mode, draw triangle, draw our ellipse, which we will move. Now, once we want to create, this is where our layers are being presented. Now here we have no layer created. So we'll create our layer here. We come to this point, new layer. We right double click, then we left click, new layer. I'll call this first one circle. I will decide the color of my layer. I can decide to put my circle in blue, in yellow, in red. Start here. Validate OK. The line type. Double press to take the thickness of my line, the line type. Do I want it to be the type of line I want? Do I want a continuous line or an interrupted line? Continuous line, interrupted line. So I'll choose anyone. Choose anyone of your choice. I say OK. In this case, my circle, My circle is already drawn, so I just match it with my corresponding layer. If not, if my circle was not drawn, I will select circle. Then I go and take circle or a line. I draw my circle, which will come out in this. But now, since in this case it's already drawn, I can allow it 0. I just select my element, then I come select the circle layer, and I have my circle. Now, if I can also now select the layer, I make it current. Anything I draw from now henceforth goes in the current layer. So either an element has already been drawn, which you bring it back to a given layer, or you make the layer current and you draw the element. So those are the two ways. So if you've not seen how to create layers, you are going to create another layer. So I click new layer, triangle. Triangle, click here, the line type, just like we saw. Then I close this, take my triangle, take and I draw my triangle in my new layer. So now I have already, these are my different layers. I can see my list of layers is increasing. So it's important to always draw with layers because you cannot have many elements on a drawing only with a default layer. This is the default layer which comes with it. AutoCAD, you cannot have the drawing cannot be read only with that default layer. It will not be good. It will not be presentable at all. So, like we said, we come to layer, we right click, double click. Once we are there, we left click and choose new layer. And create as many layers for all our different drawing elements, depending on us. At this point, we're going to see how to give dimensions or annotate our drawing. You can come here directly on this text, but before coming to this text, what are the units? This is going to, for example, if I want to measure the distance between 2 points, I'll take this linear, take here, and it gives me, this is my distance in my unit. So my drawing actually is in millimeters, reason I'm having 1962, and is in millimeters. That means I can actually confirm it to be in meters. This is my annotation bar. This is like this because I left, I can decide my annotation bar to take default layer, just like we saw. This for distance, now for angle, I take angular. Now we know an angle is always between 2 points. I'll measure here, and I have my angle to be this value. This is the value of my angle, 28 degrees, 28, 58. I need to say 58 degrees. So this is how to measure distance between 2 points, angle between two lines. Now, if I want to change this angle or my format, my annotation format, I'll come here to format. I'll come to dimension style. Have this. Like you can standard or anyone. I will modify. I will come to modify. Once I'm in here, if I want to change from degrees to radians, from radians to anything, this is where we're in degrees. Now we're going to put radians and come. Now the precision of my angles. How many places after decimal do I want for? I want a precision of That is my precision. Take OK. Once it's validated, I close. If I take back this, I'm expected to have the correspondence of 58, but this time in gradient or gum. This is it, 63.919.9199 gum. So this is it. I'm showing you how to measure distance between 2 points, measure the angle between two lines, how to change the dimension unit or the angular unit, whether you want it in that, you want it in degrees, you want it in anything. We've shown it here already. Also, if you want to insert a text, you come here, you click on text, just like we said. Once you click either emoji text or a single line, let's click the first one, and we identify our text space. This is there. Put our text. All right. Real go topo. It appears smaller than our drawings. We use our scale just like we saw. Select. Use our scale. Once it shows this, once an element shows this, it does not allow us to modify it because this layer has been blocked. So we are going to deactivate or unblock. We come to the layer, come here, and this key, on this key, we unlock. Unlock. Make sure we have unlocked this key. It's unlocked now. You see, now we can modify. Now we can modify because our aim here is to use scale to bring back our text in something visible. Now I'll take scale. Just like I said the other time, you can manually use it. Same as you can put a scale factor. You can manually search for something corresponding with your drawing, or you can put a scale factor. Now I am taking it one line. I am serial. If I want it to be one line, I double tap like this, and then I drag this, put it on one line. I can select, I move, place it wherever I want. That is it for text. At this point, we have shown you the basics of AutoCAD. If you like this video, do not forget to subscribe. Tell us your field so we can propose you videos concerning your field. It may be a civil engineer, mechanical engineer, a land survey engineer. You may likely have some slight differences in the way you use AutoCAD. So do not forget to like, comment, and share this video to help your friends.